Somebody watching.
All right, folks, looks like the hour's arrived. We'll call the meeting to order and get started. Let's call the roll, make sure we're all still awake.
Mike Bell.
Here.
Bill Britton. Here. Tony Cox.
Here.
Bob Hill.
Here.
John Hofer.
Here.
Tim Porter.
Here.
Keith Jackson.
Here.
Matt Lacy.
Present.
Tom Rush.
Here.
Dan Winter.
Here.
All right, folks, first order of business, public comment. Anyone got something to like to share with the board this morning? Nothing but smiles in your presence, huh? Well, thank you very much. In your packet, you have minutes from the last board meeting. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes stand as approved. Amy, you're up.
Sorry,
You gotta get on your toes.
I was trying to help, Stephanie out here. Sometimes it's hard to hear who's making the motion in the second, so.
Well, just make it up, because we don't remember anymore.
That'd be great. Okay, hopefully you received your financial statements by email this week. Just a few items to point out. On the statement of net position, you'll see the grant receivable of the 27, almost 28,000 still there. That's the receivable from the county on the tire grant. We are expecting that money any day. We have made final adjustments to the June 30, 2019 financial statements in preparation for the audit. Those adjustments included capitalizing the fixed assets and reporting additional depreciation. We also made the adjustments for the retirement plan as required through TCRS. And then on the income statement or statement of revenues and expenses, year-to-date tipping fees in total between our just general tipping fees and the capital fees are up just right at 75,000 for the year. Not a lot of activity for the month. We have income of 119,000 and year-to-date just under 13,000 net of depreciation and capital expenditures. The auditor will be, or is scheduled to be on site next week to begin the audit, and most likely, well, she will report at the December board meeting.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Amy? Tom, anything relevant in our investment portfolio?
The only thing I'll remind everybody of is we have our CD at Commercial Bank. It's a one-year CD. It matures on November the 29th. The balance at the end of October was a little over $1,025,000. With all the activity we've got going on, it would be good if we had, I guess, a projection of what we're going to need to spend from the post-closure fund, and know, if anything, if we want to type some money long-term again, and how much. Altogether, in the LGIP capital account, we've got a little over $2.8 million, and then the CD of commercial $1.025 million, so there's $3,872,000 and some change combined in those two accounts for the closure, post-closure fund.
By July, depending on what our bids come at, we're bidding this closure at, by the way, it bids on the 19th of December. By July, August, right in there, depending on if we do the three-phase, the whole side, or if we just do one piece of it, you're probably looking at one piece is probably going to run in the neighborhood of 800,000. If we do all three of them, it's probably going to push 2 million.
You recommend all three of them?
I'd recommend if you've got the funds to do it, that you go ahead and do all three of
It
them.
won't get any cheaper with it.
It won't get any cheaper. We are starting to see a lot of bidders on projects now. And I've talked to a couple other engineers that are working basically dirt jobs, and they said they are, I told you a month or two ago about bids where they're not getting them. But, we're starting to see 3, 4, 5, 6 bidders on
Which
these
is
projects.
also good, isn't it?
They're looking for work to do next spring, or, you know, through the winter and next spring. And part of this can be done through the winter, and then once we get, everything dried up a little better, then they can, because the dirt, what we've got down there in the bar area, when we sampled it, it was gonna have to be wet, or they're gonna have to add water. So now that it's getting a little damp, it may be perfect for the compaction we've gotta have. And also, you know, we've gotta put the synthetic liner cap on there. Those contractors are now to where they can mobilize in March, April, May, when we would need them to mobilize behind the dirt contractor. We bid a liner in Jefferson County 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had one that could mobilize in December, one in January, February, and one in March. So that group is also looking for work now.
Are they the same, the bottom liner and the top liner?
They're basically the same now.
So if we got CDs maturing this month, we'll know when, how much.
I'm gonna, like, the bid's open the 19th of December.
So maybe discuss it again next month.
I think that'd
What
be
we
good.
may do, just let that mature, roll that money into the LGIP.
Third Friday's the
And what we can decide from there.
LGIP's not paying bad these days.
It's dropped some, the rate is 2.02, but there's
Yeah, it
a
is.
4 basis
What?
point fee, so we're already here at
20,
29.
yeah.
It's January.
All right, we'll watch that and see.
Again.
Okay, Dan, your report.
HEDAC inspection went pretty well. We had a couple areas of concern. He said we had too many tires on the sites. We had to get some off the pad to satisfy him. He's pushing for the closure, which is one of the other areas of concern, and Steve's working on that. And the other was the leachate measurement and slump, and Steve's going to address that as well in his notes. I did not know that, so. Other than that, the inspection went very well. Anybody have any questions on inspection or see anything there?
I didn't look, who did this month's inspection?
It's Dr. Lou.
Dr. Lou.
Okay.
I'm meeting with Dr. Lou Tuesday, by the way, to go over what Dan had just discussed.
Okay.
Next up on the agenda is grant update. David Sutton was out last week. He had verbally signed off on our waste oil convenience center and put stickers on everything for approval. Also in the packet, everything's in motion for the grant as well, and the numbers are there and how it was awarded and so forth, but everything's getting ready to start moving next week, I think.
All right, remind me on the grant, actually, purchasing and awarding is all going through the county, is that? Okay,
That's correct.
all right. Anything else, Dan?
No, that's all I've got right now.
Questions for Mr. Winter? Not hearing anything, we'll move to Mr. Bostic.
Okay, the leachate improvements, suit compliance, and the flow metering project is just about finished. All main lines and connections have been installed. The flow meter is installed. It was calibrated, I guess, last week, wasn't it? And I've notified the MUS that meter is in, and that they need to adjust their method of billing between the water meter, which is only domestic now, and then they will bill for the leachate from the line that's actually coming out of the landfill and not the gravity line downstream. The leachate level sensor that Dan had mentioned, I've got a proposal into TDEC as far as how we want to do that instead of their they wanted to dig down into that cell, and I just don't feel comfortable, and I know the contractor doesn't, digging down through the garbage that deep and trying to install that thing. So, I did talk to Patrick and, is it Sarah?
Yes,
I talked to them about what we wanted to do when I met them out there, when they were doing the vapor work, and they were comfortable with it. Just have to get Dr. Lou to approve it. Your monthly gas monitoring, we did that, submitted reports to TDEC. Those levels, well, the monthly is in the homes out there, and we're still not finding anything there. The second annual groundwater monitoring was completed. We got the lab results back, and that report is being reviewed, and I'll deliver that when I meet with them Tuesday afternoon to TDEC. They completed the vapor study that TDEC required, and I've got a draft report prepared for Hamilton County and TDEC. There's no indication at this point that any gases are leaving the property. We do have some outside the landfill cell that we'll have to address with TDEC. The leachate excursion, monitoring wells that we installed along Sublet Road and the boundary between your landfill and Waste Industries were all put in. They've got the initial sampling has been performed. They've got the lab reports back, and then we'll have a draft report next week to review before we send that to TDEC. We're going to have to look at it and then come up with a plan on how we're going to move forward on that. The additional gas vents, I talked to the Geotech yesterday afternoon after I'd already put this. He's found a driller that will drill down and install those vents. And the only thing we're waiting on is TDEC to approve that level sensor, because he will drill down and put a casing down to install that also. The closure plan we talked about a little bit. We're gonna open bids on that the 19th. I'm meeting with TDEC. Well, open bids December 19th. I'm meeting with TDEC November 19th, which is Tuesday, to just go through our bidding, our plan, our schedule, make sure they're good with that.
Steve, are you bidding that in a way to do part or all
I'm
of it?
bidding it basically 4 ways.
Okay.
Part A, Part B, Part C, and then all of it.
Good.
When will that be advertised?
It'll be advertised, right after I meet with TDEC, which will be, probably get the advertisement Wednesday. The new truck scale, is under construction. The scale's installed and operational, right, Dan?
That's correct.
We do have, and I think that's listed under Dan's new business, but when East Tennessee Turf was doing their grading to do the paving on the Sublet Road side of the scale, we ran into some wet, soft material there, and I had him do some test pits, and what we ended up with, we had kind of 3 choices. One, we could go ahead and put the base stone and pave it down, and probably within a year, you'd be paving it again, because it's just something that he can't compact it. We could have undercut it about 8 feet and then brought it back up with stone, or we could go down 2 feet and install a geogrid. And I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a structural grid that you put in to bridge that soft material and then come on up with the stone. And the least expensive method that was to go ahead and undercut 2 feet, put that geogrid in, and then come up with a stone. And I think there's the quote from East Tennessee Turf is in your packet. I believe, yeah, it's on the last page. If you look at those costs, the main cost is the stone. And if we did the gate, you know, if we went down far enough to get enough of that material out to bridge it, we'd be talking another 100,000+. So the best route was to go this route here and put the geogrid in, because if you don't fix it now, it's gonna be a forever problem, and you're eventually gonna have to probably go back and do this anyway. Because with that truck traffic across it, that asphalt's gonna pump, and it's gonna be bad. It's just, that area down there was never put in and compacted to build a road on. It's been there for years, so, my recommendation is we go ahead and, award this change order to, East Tennessee Turf and have them fix it right the first time.
Yeah, Steve, I looked at that, and given where we are, I don't think we got a whole lot of choice, and that was sort of my response back. I guess the question the people wants to know is, how did we get surprised by that, and how come we didn't have some forewarning this might be a problem?
Well, go ahead, Dan.
It didn't show any signs of pumping except for one area. It had bridged over it, but when they cut it to subgrade and started running over it, then it just went to pieces.
Yeah,
It did not show any pumping whatsoever except for one spot.
yeah, there wasn't any geotech work done prior to the scale going in.
Steve, you're saying it's $60,000 stone and excavation?
It's removing all the material, and it's a pretty good long stretch through there, it's not just one spot. And then putting that geogrid in, those two items are not the cost items, the cost item is the stone.
Volume?
Yeah, I think there was, and according to Tyler, the stone prices are going up now too, but, and I talked to him, he may, excuse me, that number may come down a little bit. He estimated these, and it may drop a little bit, but probably not anything dramatic.
Why was stone required, Steve, instead of red dirt, if you could find some on site and,
The cost of moving it and getting it to the right, moisture content and getting it compacted in there, the time factor on that was a lot longer than getting the stone put in. And in talking to the geotech, they recommended that we put the stone in there because it'll bridge better.
Problem with change orders, you never have any control over it, not Steve's problem, but
This
that's
is
not competitive bidding.
This is a classic pay me now or pay me later thing, honestly, because that material there was no way we could dry it. It was just,
there's no way we could have known this prior to.
had we done a bunch of borings in there, honestly, we could have done it. But it would have been the very same fix. There, it wouldn't have been anything different. And looking at the pricing, I don't really feel like that, and I don't think that East Tennessee Turf is jabbing,
I feel like I've been jabbed on this scale project in total though.
It's,
From 150 to 400.
well,
I've been jabbed.
150 was strictly the scale, that, getting it to work there was not, I think the original budget was just,
Purchasing of the scales.
Here's what's gonna cost to get you a scale.
I don't know that we all thought that though.
Well,
I did, maybe I'm speaking out of turn.
I don't think,
I know this, we've got a lot of expenditures coming up. We're gonna have to start tightening the belt up a little
I
bit.
understand that. You do
If we're
have-
gonna do all these closures, and if we're talking about opening up a sale, we're gonna have to,
That's not very good information for a gut, sound like to hear that.
well, I'm sorry.
I am too.
There's a lot of historical stuff down there that you guys are paying for. And I'll just leave it at that. It's old stuff that's been done for years that you're paying for. But on a good note, the French drain seems to be helping us with the gases and, the leachate that that it was originally put in the handle.
How many more years do we have down there?
You remember, Jim? 3, 5? 5.
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years left?
Yeah.
So we've got a good new scales for 5 years at least, right?
Well, and then,
Hopefully, if we have enough money, we can open up another one.
yeah, I think your pellet manufacturing thing has kind of fell through.
Yeah, I think that one's gone.
I've been reading some articles on that, it's not, doesn't look good. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at.
Well, we're kind of in the middle of the project. We got a recommendation from the engineer and the geotech to do a change order for, what is it, 60,000?
Yeah, 60,100.
60,600, I believe.
Yeah, 60,600 is what, and, I don't know, we don't have a lot of choice really where we're at, but, would need to approve the change order if that's the board's pleasure. Been nice to know ahead of time, been nice to have the project planned out a little better, but we are where we are today. Got a motion to approve the change order, do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, that's from Mr. Hofer, I'll fall down on that part, I apologize for that. All right, any other comments or questions? Let's call the roll.
Mike Bell,
Yes.
Bob Garrett,
Yes.
John Hopper,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Keith Jackson,
Yes.
Matt Lacy,
Yes.
Tom Rush.
Yes.
All right, guys, that's changing that one, our fingers crossed we get this done, won't have any more bumps in the road, or signs, or humps, or whatever else we might find, so, Steve, anything else that, you need to share or wanna put out before the board today?
No, I think that's it. I've done enough damage.
Dan, we had a change order, we've taken care of that, you got anything else?
No.
All right, anything else from any member of the board? If not, thank you very much, we'll see you next month.
Love it.
So we're talking.
We should.
I have to agree with you. Anymore, I'm not saying.
That's the thing we don't know.
And we didn't, we got
We're big with it.
Well, the more we spend, the more we